Hey guys, what is up? I've been meaning to make an update video about the carrier scrolling marquee issue, where I made that video before about taking these marquees apart, as you see here, where you have the issues pushing on the buttons, and therefore I made a video in the past showing you how sucky these are, how I used to rip out the buttons just to shove something down in there to get the button to actuate. Many people have complained about these. So I've taken them apart in the past, and you can see here's the pad right here, and I've basically modified them with buttons, kind of sand off the coating here. You get down to the bare copper there, and then I solder on these little tactile buttons here that you buy real cheap. Let's see if I can get here. Basically kind of just sit them on there and solder them on, and they look like that, and then you just push and click them. Very nice. And that was a crude in the field repair. This wasn't like done at home. This is just done in the summer with me sitting on a tool bucket. I guess it was in April. But anyway, here is your original board, and then this is what I would do to solder on these buttons. You got your up, down, and then your cancel and OK buttons. But now, recently I met up with some of the carrier field techs that go out on trouble calls, or trouble units, basically the vendor reps. And we've talked over the years. He reminded me the other day that the first time we met on a job was probably like in 2003 out in Fountain Hills. So let's take a quick gander at some photos I have of that job. It wasn't 2003, it was 2005. Back then, smartphones didn't take very good photos. And I believe some of these were done with a Kodak, and it has the date stamped in November of 2005, back with my, handle I was using on the forum that was very popular. So these are some Bryant units that were installed on this big gymnasium. And before I got there, the installers for this company in Phoenix, there's some oil traps they wanted to add. They installed commercial equipment. They had no idea what they were doing. They didn't even install residential properly. So it was scary when they touched commercial. Here's where they went back and installed all these P-traps, upside-down traps. Still trying to get the oil back. The oil kept leaving. And I think there's some pictures of brand new compressors right here that the heads are already charred from the high temperature. Just the coils down below, let's see if we go back to them here. The oil wasn't returning, and then once the oil didn't return, it seemed to kind of block the refrigerant flow through one of the circuits. And notice they have one liquid line going in, and it was splitting. And this is another weird thing. I think I found, look, a liquid line filter here went in, and then went to the two filters inside for the two circuits. So essentially, they were going through a series of one liquid line and then the two in parallel. I can't remember. I think I took out the external ones. And then I finally did the hole here, the lowest point, and I drained out like a gallon of oil or something from the indoor coil. Just oil didn't want to come back. Then what I did, and this was per the tech rep, the one that just showed me the pictures of the marquee. They told me what the factory's calling for is to add a pump down solenoid on one of the circuits. Actually, that's what was supposed to be installed, but again, this company had no idea what they're doing. So when you unload that semi-hermetic compressor, the velocity is so slow that the oil won't return. So what you're supposed to do is, it's got two coils, so you're supposed to put in a pump down solenoid here, and what it does is when the compressor unloads, it also shuts off this pump down solenoid. You're about down to like 50% capacity and whatnot, and then you're only using the one coil. 50% compressor, using one coil, you got the same velocity through the coil. Pull that oil out. So did that, relocated the TXVs, a couple things. This is my coworker. I think he was up there adding some, I think they added a couple more oil traps, or put one where they told them they needed to, which was here inside. So, because I guess that one up on the top was useless. So yeah, this stuff was way over their heads. This company had no idea what they were doing. Very popular company in Phoenix. And right here you can see, not too bad of a job I installed. Sweated in these the pump down solenoid on one circuit. So I think that was the last photo. But anyway, yeah, that was my that's just funny 2005, it's like 15 years ago. And yeah, Carrier Rep remembered meeting me there. That was quite something. So now we'll go back to the Marquee video. He's worked here for quite a while, so it's kind of cool to meet up with him, and I guess he watches these videos. So he gave me some pictures. He did say these were okay to post, so um, these were his pictures of what's going on over there. I don't know if this is really why they did the update, but he's telling me that he showed them my video and said, look, this is what you guys need to do. These buttons suck. I don't know what his words were, but basically these are the original. And then this is what they've got coming out. So I don't know if it is because of my video per se or anything, but they basically just came out with a new version of the circuit board for these Carrier Scrolling Marquee interfaces that have tactile buttons right on them right here. That is nice looking. So it looks like they're meant to fit under the original. When I peel these apart, you have like one piece of rubber right in the middle that pushed down with a conductive surface, and then these had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I guess they wanted to keep the feel the same, or just the same method up here, same rubber membrane probably. Yeah, so it's gonna look the same, but it's gonna have these tactile buttons inside, and it's gonna have that nice positive feedback, always working type of switches. It's awesome. I can't wait to see these out in the field. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? It's pretty awesome, ain't it? When I see one of these out in the field, I'll be sure to show you guys one for an update.